I'm early today. Yes, you are very much on time. I'm actually also like a minute early. Anyway, let us do the intro and go straight into the episode of today. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Losing in Love podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Maremini, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing us. This is rather one of those unpleasant, draining lives, where we have to talk about something which is not nice. I saw a comment now before I came on to the live on Instagram where a guy was saying to me, if such things were not happening, would you have content? And I wanted to take offense and whatnot, but I was like, you know what? I can't be explaining myself because life is just lifing. But other than that, this is my least favorite content, actually. Content where we're talking about somebody being killed. That's not my most favorite thing to talk about. And another thing that actually makes me drag my feet when we have to talk about such things is because I know that it's going to start a gender war altogether, which is something that I'm far away from. But yeah. So for those who are only joining in for the first time and they don't know what we're talking about, today we're talking about a guy who's trending on the socials. His name is SBUSISO Lawrence, who deleted his girlfriend and then went ahead and did recorded a video and spoke about the stuff that he did for this girl and whatnot. And he accepted a child who comes from outside. And now that the girlfriend is waiting for RAF money, for those who don't know what RAF is Road Accident Fund. So in South Africa, when you've had a car accident, there's a funding, where they give you money for whatever that you could have lost because of the accident and whatnot and whatnot. So usually when you see somebody surviving a car accident, there's some money which is called the Road Accident Fund, RAF, which comes out and people get to enjoy and live their best life, you know, and whatnot. So anyway, the guy was actually mentioning that now that the rough money is almost gonna be here, you wanna leave me, and hey, yeah, it's a lot. So in the small video or the short video that I did, I had actually mentioned that the one of the reasons why this is such a drag for me is because this feels like one of those Joshua Mathebula episodes, where for those who don't know who I'll try on Instagram, no, on YouTube, I'll try to leave the link to the Joshua Mathebula segment that we had, where we're talking about this guy who deleted his girlfriend, and after that went live on Facebook explaining the terrible things that this girl did. And when he was done, he also deleted himself. So the same story is actually what we are dealing with today. A guy deletes himself after he deleted a girl and went on social media to tell or explain to us what this girl did. Of which, for me, I feel like, if you're going to delete me for what I did to you, at least give me a chance to also share my last words to the people to say, this is what I did to this guy and this is what he did to me, and then delete me. Then at least Nami, I have the last word. Like, why am I not being given a chance to say my last words before I'm deleted? Anyway, thank you so much for the people who are coming through. Please don't forget to give me that thumbs up and share so that more people can come through. I see you all. I see you all. A big shout out. And another thing for me, which was a concern, was because I see that Newsroom Africa has been covering this story like the whole day, which is good because they're keeping us posted so that at least we can have a clue of what's going on before we can actually even meet and speak about it here today. They've had a side of the story from the woman's family and from the man's family, where from the man's family they were speaking to the father, which was so heartbreaking for me looking at that man, like the pain of having to be a father and see your child hang himself. And not only did he hang himself, but he had to take another life with him, and having to be strong and address the people because you can't run away from it because this is like right in front of you. It must have been so heartbreaking, losing your child and your child being responsible for that loss and the loss of somebody else's child. It's another thing altogether. And also there was another video where the family member of the girl didn't want to be shown, so they were speaking with the camera not showing their face, where they were talking about how um where they were talking about how the guy has been violent. Okay, I see somebody saying that I should increase my volume. How do I increase it? Because I don't know. You will tell me if you can hear me a little bit better now, because I've tried to increase it. I don't know if it makes a difference. You'll just tell me. But anyway, we already have a guest. I'm gonna ask my guest to unmute herself and speak. And if you also want to join as a guest and you want to share a thing or two, you're more than welcome to request to be a guest, and then you share your views, your opinions, your thoughts, your concerns, and what you think can be the solution to all these things. Hello, my sister.
Hi, Madam Speaker. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you, my darling?
I'm very well, my sister. I'm tired of being shocked. We are forever shocked as a country, and this thing is now tiring.
Yo.
But then, in any case, Madam Speaker, please allow me to make this already troublesome situation. Let me try and be controversial. Mina, I'm always confused. Uguti, why is it always the family seems to be drawing blanks once disaster happens? Angazi, I find that to be so disturbing. Uguti, my son will go out and unalive someone, and Mina, as a parent, I'm gonna say that I had no idea what was going on in his relationship. Angazi, I feel like as parents, because I believe I'm a new parent to the new generation. I have a young man. I'm expecting one day very soon he'll come back and say, "Mommy, I'm getting married."
Yeah.
I don't see myself coming out and saying I had no idea what's going on in his relationship, because as it is Konemanje, I become so nosy that I want to know, who is he crushing on? Who are the friends? What is he hiding under his bed? I'm a parent, and I'm talking about both parents to female kids and to male kids. I feel like we no longer have an excuse of this rising death toll. We are to blame.
Yeah.
I judge those parents. Ukuthi kanjani you didn't know. Abantu laba bashayisane ngemoto. As two families, none of you said, let's hold a meeting. Let's now draw a border to make sure these two don't meet. So that whatever they do, they are adults. Yes, they're gonna end up doing shit that we don't want them to do. But let us as families, where's that? Why don't we see that part of the accountability of the two families? And it's with all the victims. If we go to all the victims, you see it's a trend. Bonke, they are drawing blanks. Bonke, they are drawing blanks. How do you draw a blank on your child? Your child is your child. I don't care if he's 100. It's your child. Angazi.
Hey, my sister.
That's my 2 cents. Hence, I said I just want to make it a little bit more controversial.
Your 2 cents controversy, my sister. I completely, 100%, no fear, no favor. I disagree with you. But I think maybe the reason why we have an influx of people coming in, maybe they want to share their views and thoughts about why maybe they agree with you or they disagree with you. So I'll try and be a good host and allow other people to actually speak and say why they disagree with you. Maybe somebody can say something which is similar to what I wanted to say. But Mina, I just want to put it out there to say I disagree with you like 150%. Pretty?
Hello, everyone. Sorry, Madam Speaker. I'm more inflamed than everyone in the room, or as most as everyone in the room.
Okay.
I'm sorry to put myself back then. But I feel as though what Mama is saying here is completely out of the line. It's completely out. In as much as you can say you know your child, you must then know when to call them to order. And these things do not just start with killing. I will not meet a girl or a guy and say, Mama Pesi, this is my boyfriend or my girlfriend. And then tomorrow, Gamutlapa, Kabushuka Mutlava, Wanore, Wanaka Oscar. No. You recognize these things as they're happening. And also, as a child, as you raise them, you teach them how to. I personally feel like there are a lot of us here who are parents who are raising kids, and don't say you putting on the blame on parents, because we are raising kids to be better than what we've went through, be it from first hand as kids, be it from first hand as partners with our divorced partners, be it as something that we have seen. But please do not, number one, put it down on parents. Number two, you now need to claim your own. It's a baby sabulela sere go ba isa le nanana. Wa mmoka ngwana gore mosadi a bethu. Ga ile gore o tlhabela lešata e tswa ka mogae o mo tlogele, and then o ka ga fodiše tlhogo wa bolela le ena, ga sa fodiše tlhogo wa bolela le mmaga, se wena mo goditšeng ga o mo tsebe. And motho ga o kana a sa o nyake wa mo lesa.
I hear you, Lotus. I hear you. I just feel sorry for my international audience, but Mina personally, I hear you. Yeah. I think when you went straight into the issue at hand, you know, the matter of the day, to say, what do you do when you don't want somebody, when somebody doesn't want you anymore, you know? And the part where we
I came in on to saying, I'm sorry to cut you short, but I came in, what honestly brought me to request was the fact that, as a parent, you, when it comes to blaming the parent in terms of the child's action, you know, like, how do you now come and say, you are blaming parents on how they're raising their kids? It's like saying, Madam Speaker, I'm sorry to put you as an example, but as a divorced mother, and I say, or like, tomorrow your son or your daughter, okay, now they're not acting up as they should be because why they come from a divorced family. Is that an excuse?
No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
I will not come and say the guy did what he did because of his past doings, and I will not come and say the guy did what he did because of how he felt he should act and do at his right state, point, and age. You know.
For me, when a lot has for me, like, literally, I feel like blaming the parents. The one thing that I have a problem with us blaming the parents is that I, for one, I know how it's like to go through stuff and not tell my parents. Mina, when I officially called a meeting, the last meeting, to say our marriage is coming to an end, my parents had no idea what I was going through in my marriage for the past almost 10 years. So when I broke the news to them, it was the news for the first time. So if anything had happened between me and my ex-husband to a point where we killed each other, how then do we blame my parents and say my parents know, when I made sure that I kept that from them the whole time? That for me is so not fair. I don't understand how parents have to be blamed for what their kids do when they are no longer kids anymore. There's only so much you can do to a certain age. I
Can I say something small? I think I'm being quoted out of context.
Yes, ma'am. Please do clarify.
I'm not saying what happened is the parents' fault.
Yes.
I am not saying that.
I hear that part.
There's no way you can blame me for what my son does outside. This person is an adult.
Yes.
Yes, I'm saying he's my child, because I'm saying that much as I am not to blame for what he did, he is my child. So it's also on me. Nothing that happens. For example, right now he was having a challenge recently, and I told him that, you know what, should you go and hijack somebody and the police arrest you and you go to jail for that hijacking, that is not justice. That is not justice, because that man is still down a mag. That man still wants his Mercedes Benz. That man is still traumatized. And that man is not looking at you, he's looking at my house. I don't know if you get what I'm saying, because somehow I feel like that part is not being gotten. And you're saying it so nicely, Madam Speaker, that when you were going through hardships in your relationship, your family had no idea of the decisions that you and your husband did until it was too late for them to do anything about it, which is that is the one that I'm saying I'm questioning, because that is not how life is supposed to be. That is how we as an African nation, we are busy getting lost. We were never made to live in an isolation. We are all groups of clans, groups of kingdoms. Your family was supposed to know. They were supposed to know. They were supposed to be part of the decision.
Yo,
But we are not wise.
Hey.
Sorry, pretty.
Jesus. Hey. We are laughing even when it's crying time. Hey.
Sorry,
Jesus.
guys. Hi, Madam Speaker, how are you?
Good, how are you, my love?
Well, what an honor to be on this platform.
Thank you
I
so
am a
much, my
lover.
sister. Thank you so much, my love.
So with all due respect, no, we are not quoting you out of context. My understanding of the live was for us to unpack the events and just the outcomes and how we get to where people who are supposedly a unit end up doing the things and horrible things they do to each other. And I feel like you are derailing us completely from the incident. It is an unfair perspective for you to say that family, in-laws, parents, the extended white noise, because all of this is white noise. The comments about the families, the contributions the families are making, none of those people have informed information about what that relationship was. There's the thing about the truth is that there's my truth, there's my partner's truth, and in between is the actual incident and what happened. And it is very, very irresponsible as well to say or hold third parties accountable for a relationship that is among two people who were not necessarily nice to each other, who did not necessarily treat each other correctly, who not necessarily dealt with traumas themselves and things that triggered them personally into acting the way they acted. We are not misquoting you. It is fair to hold you accountable to say you came in here guns blazing and derailed the whole conversation by holding other people accountable, but not the people that were actually involved in the incident. That's my 2 cents worth. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my darling. Pretty girl, pretty Zwanga.
Hi, Madam Speaker. Hi, everyone.
Hi, darling.
Hi, Pretty.
Last night I saw the video for that guy when he was saying that he did everything for that girl, and then he has lost everything, money, friends, and all those kind of things because of that woman. And he also said that because he broke up with the girl, and where the girl she got the money, she was going to get the money for the rape. And he thought that because the girl was going to get the money for the rape, that's why she dumped him. Mm-hmm. And when they break up, they both move on with their life. And then he get a partner, she get a partner. Whatever that happened between them, they try to fix their thing. And then whenever the lady take the phone, and then when she take a phone, she send the pictures to the current girlfriend for Lawrence. After sending those pictures to current girlfriend, Lawrence and his girlfriend break up. And when they break up, she broke up with him. Then he got angry and then he killed her. So my question is, because he knows that they break up and then now he end up taking her life, did he even think about her children? Because that lady, she left 2 kids. Who's going to raise the kids? And then he said the other child is not his. So why did he have to stay in a relationship knowing that this girl cheated on me, and then she bring a child outside of that relationship? He continued to be with her. After that, he take a life. Meaning that as a woman, we are no longer safe being with a man. Because after all, they're going to kill us out if we did a mistake. Instead of them moving on with their life. Because as a woman, if you have something going on in your life, you come to the platform and say that I came across this and this. And people will advise you. But from men, they don't do that. They end up taking our lives, which is not good. It's not good.
I hear you, my sister, and that is also my concern. And thank you so much, firstly, Ne, for just breaking it down for us nicely. I think for those who don't know what the story is about, you literally just took us from beginning to end in a nutshell, all of it. So thank you so much for that. For me, I had a conversation. I've been having conversations about this the whole day. And one of my biggest concerns was, if people need to be killed for cheating, how many men would we have left in this earth? Like, if cheating was a sin which is good enough for one to be unalived, how many men would we have? So if we are saying this is a rule and it should be a lesson to everybody, as people are saying that when you cheat or when you make a baby outside, you should be unalived, how many people are we going to be having on this earth?
No, that's true, Madam Speaker. Because honestly,
Madam Speaker, how are you?
Hi, Fiki.
How are you, Madam Speaker?
Good, thanks. How are you, my love?
I'm fine, and thank you for the opportunity. Ne?
Thank you so much for joining in, my love.
Mina, on my side, I think domestic violence is the most difficult case to deal with, especially in our country. I once worked at the police station. Can you believe it? Like, there is this certain couple that will be fight each and every day, 25th. The police will go there and attend domestic violence, and then they will separate the couple, and then after a week they fix things. And the same thing happened again. I still remember the other time, like in most cases, if you can check, those ladies who are abused, you can't even advise them to leave the relationship, or maybe to try to tell them to protect themselves, because in most cases these people, okay, this week they will be violated by their partners, and then after 3 days the partner will go and buy them expensive gifts and they fix things. I don't know, I think DV is the most difficult case to deal with, especially
in our country. Let me tell you why, ma'am. Ma'am Fixie, let me tell you why, ne? I don't know if the stats are still as they are, but apparently it takes 7 attempts for a person to eventually leave an abusive relationship, meaning that if you're in an abusive relationship, you will go out and back in and out and back in 7 times before you eventually leave for good. It's just unfortunate that for some people, they die before we get to number 7. I don't know if you get what I mean. This is why there's so much violence in relationships where somebody is staying in an abusive relationship. And also, when we're saying it's on average, it doesn't necessarily mean that people leave the 7th time. Some people take even longer, but on average, it takes 7 attempts for somebody to actually leave an abusive relationship. And this is more mental than anything. I beg your pardon?
If you can check this victim, what I'm saying that if you can check in most cases, Madam Speaker, these victims are the one protecting these the suspects.
Absolutely.
Because most of them, they're going to open the case, and on the Saturday they're going to withdraw the case.
Yes. That's just unfortunate.
I once explained it in my family. My brother did that. They fought with his wife. Then they will be fighting every weekend. Both of them will be attending the domestic violence case. They will be attending it to a point whereby we ended up as a family intervened and separated them. But at the end, we ended up killing each other.
Sure. Yo, my sister,
so
hear you.
Sometimes families, what I'm saying, Madam Speaker, families, they will try. I'm telling you, you'll advise your daughter to, please leave that man, leave that girl. But at the end of the day, I end up fixing things.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying, that what is the cause? If maybe we can find the cause of this, maybe we will have something, maybe to help these victims or the suspect. I don't know. Maybe the cause, something that we don't know between the couple.
Yes, my sister, it's a psychological problem, my sister. I think one of the issues is Stockholm syndrome and all these other syndrome. I forgot what you call the other one, where one person becomes clingy to their perpetrator. It's a mental issue. Yes, sir. Oh.
It's Lotus here.
Yes, my darling.
There are many factors, my love, that push people into such relationships. I don't want to lie. It will be from your upbringing as a woman. You never had a father figure. When you find this guy and he's controlling you, feel like, now I have a dad. I feel like this person loves me because he will tell me, don't go out at night. And then you are a woman. You are a man. You find a woman who tells you, I'll buy you what you want whenever you want, and you feel like, now I have a mommy, you know. there are a lot of factors that contributed to want to actually be in a particular relationship and a situationship. And you find yourself as a girl who never had a father figure, or a boy who never had a mother figure or a father figure. There are a lot of things. Or financial, you both have your mom and dad in the house, but you never had the financial freedom or the capacity of actually getting what you want when you want. There are a lot of things, guys.
Yeah.
And now, honestly, pushing into the LGBTI community us together is something that they also get to face. They get to miss out on certain things. I wish I was accepted in a certain way. I wish I was treated in a certain way. It's a whole lot of factors that we can look into that push people to acting or being the way that they are. But the most important thing is for a person to actually come down to their psychological factor, and it's very hard for
It's
you to get to
hard,
that point
bruh. It's
if you
hard.
never really got what you really been longing for.
Yeah.
So there's a lot. It's not just about the Oribari. Papa was not here, Mama was not here,
Yeah.
Dad was not here. No, guys, there's a lot that comes with.
I feel like the issue is that the wounds that we have to deal with, which are internalized, we don't realize that with internal wounds, we have to put a lot more work than with external wounds. Because if you have a sore outside your body, you can ignore it and it can heal itself day by day. But with the stuff which is on the inside of you, you need to put in the work for it to get out there. And not everybody is willing to put in the work to do the spring cleaning of whatever that is bothering them on the inside. And that's the sad part about it.
True, and
I
you
think
know
that
about.
we.
Can I finish something of me?
Sure,
I'm
sure.
sorry. In the same sentiment, Madam Speaker, I will not lie to you. Mina, personally, if I meet a guy that is not of my par, not financially, not physically or anything, if you do not respect me, if you do not care for me, I feel as though you'll not do the same unto people around me, right? That's me.
Yeah.
And if I feel like this is something that I've been raised around, and there are certain things that have been lacking from my parents' marriage, and I've told myself I'll never agree to them in my life.
Yeah.
So if ever you are not meeting up to those certain things, like let's say respect, let's say physical abuse, let's say whatever that may be, if ever, Madam Speaker, today I'm dating you, and when I come to Batakampama because I came back home very late, I will leave you.
Yeah.
Let's make this a two-way thing, guys. One lady is down today, but you are still standing, you're still here, you're still listening, and your man is still hitting you. Don't think that it's going to end there. It's going to get more, right? And that man that's here as well, if that woman is pushing you, tomorrow is going to be picking up a knife and stabbing you. Because why? I will not stand with you physically because you're a man.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they're going to do this or they should do this, but I'm just putting it out there on saying we need to have our limit and saying, I will not withstand 1, 2, 3, and 4. Personally, I don't stand for somebody who disrespects or disregards me. I will leave you. And
Absolutely.
you must also have limits on saying if somebody is having a wound of saying, I did not have a father, I want to be a father in a relationship. I don't want a father, I want a partner. So if you want to be a father, miss me. I'm not going to sit on that table.
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want people to actually get this wrong, and I want people to also realize on what they want and where they are and what do they want in return from their partners.
Amen. Thank you so much, Lotus. Nana, you wanted to say something?
Ma'am, yes, I just wanted to say something because I see that there's 300 of us on the live, and I just want to give other people space as well.
Yeah.
But before I leave, I just want to plant a seed. We agree that there are hundreds and thousands of cases where there is domestic abuse, but I think if we are going to discuss this particular incident, I wish that we had organizations or more, because we do have, but I think if we had more setups where men are allowed to speak to men, because in this particular incident, if you listen to this man and you listen with intent, not necessarily for him to defend his actions, there's a lot of toxic masculine energy here. This is a man who hasn't dealt necessarily with himself, his esteem,
he probably hasn't achieved or accomplished the things that he's attempted to accomplish, and maybe his role as a man, you know. And over the past couple of years, we've had terms like emasculation being thrown out. We are products of divorce, and there are times where the men that we've had in our lives, whether it's marriage or moving relationships, hyper independence will be the death of us women. The lives that we live as women are so unnatural because natural state of feminism is that we live in our most feminine aesthetics, right? So we are nurturers by nature. But because of evolution and consequences and the situations that we've been put into by the partners that we've had to take care of ourselves and provide for ourselves. So if this man is saying that his reasoning for his actions is because now she seems to think she's better, or financially she's going to be in a better place, we are not just dealing with a person who woke up and did this. These are issues that revolve around toxic masculinity. And then maybe from her side, or her part of her role in maybe the interaction was her toxic positivity, because you stick through, you sit with the person whose self-esteem is below. You sit through this relationship where you are constantly having to subdue your intelligence, your skills, to accommodate the person in your life because they are not necessarily there. That is toxic positivity, because you are pouring into an empty vessel. So I think outside of the national numbers, outside of in this particular incident, men need to start talking to men about being positive masculine figures in their own lives so that they can be proper contributors to communities and societies. For as long as men don't speak to men, guys, we are going to have these conversations. And lastly, I once had a conversation with a man that I look up to, but also sometimes his masculine energy gets too much of me. And his thing was, yes, Nana, this thing of women being abused has the potential to come to an end, because when women start standing together, right, we do a lot of things. When the men in our lives, so our siblings, our brothers, our cousins, our fathers, when we know those men are abusers or abusing, where are the women around you to stand for you and fight for you? So those are generic things that we can discuss. But once we start looking at men talking to men about being positive male figures and really being in touch with their actual masculinity and playing the roles of providers and protectors and not victimizing us as the nurturers, we might have a different outcome. Absolutely. I love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. I'll be listening outside, so let me make space for others.
Thank you so much, Nana. We absolutely
Bye,
love
guys.
you also.
Bye.
There's a guy that I was sitting with that we're gonna air his episode this coming Sunday, and he was speaking about something similar to that. He said that his concern was having the male child healed, so that the male child is no longer a danger to the female child. Because when a male child is healed, then that means that we don't have to protect the female child, because what are we protecting that child from if the male child is healed? And I feel like that is the gospel, the truth. You know, I had a conversation just before I went on this live. I had a conversation with a friend, and we're talking about how, you know, we should also, you know, be considerate of men. And I was saying to him, listen, this is the best time for you to actually come forward and say, this is what I want to start for men. And trust me, people like me, we will support you so that men also get the healing that they deserve, because healed men equals healed generation, because there's no need for women to be hiding or protecting themselves. There's no need for me to walk around with a knife if I know that every man that I bump into is a safe man. You get what I mean? So I absolutely agree with Nana in her absentia. Love you, love you, love you. Guys, for those who are volunteering to exit after they've spoken, because we still have a line, I think we've got like 5 people who are waiting to join in. I thank you and I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
No problem. Madam Speaker, on your note, Nick, can I also be excused, Nick?
My love, I love you long time, eh? You know that, right?
I love you long time, my love. I'll talk to you soon.
Let me exit as well, please.
Okay.
I'll be in
Bye.
FA in a few days. I'll see you soon.
Okay, cool. Look forward to it.
But on the note of what you just said, guys, it's like
I don't even know. Mommy,
Lieutenant Nyago
give me switch or give me tsamaile.
But guys, no talk without us.
Eh?
Don't talk about us without us. Don't talk about
Okay.
women.
Okay, guys, even though the lights are off, let's continue talking. If the electricity is gone, we will use we have a backup. We'll use a backup.
Yeah, we have the voices.
Okay.
But don't talk about the women as in a men's conference without the women, because you'll be voicing out issues that women are facing and they don't hear them. You know,
I hear
and
you.
don't talk about men without men. in a women's conference without men. Like, bring them, involve them, so that they can know that when you guys are touching me and I want to be touched, that's violation. Because for you, it's like a so let's deal with that. No talk without us, about us without
Absolutely. That's the gospel right there. Thank you so much, my love.
us.
Thank you.
Hi, ladies.
Ke kgopela, okay, cool. Thank you so much. Ke kgopela, that thing, yeah, power bank. Ne? Yeah, but not power bank, but yeah, what you call. Guys, let's continue. We have KJ. KJ, my darling.
Okay, how are you, Madam Speaker?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm also good, and I'm so happy that you are hosting us this evening.
Thank you so much. I apologize for hosting. Please help me, Mama. I apologize for hosting you in the dark, but I feel so honored that you are here.
No problem. We appreciate actually you can get your voice very clear. I'm all the way from Kenya, and I'm so glad that you're discussing something that is also happening in our country.
Yes.
And whenever you're addressing the issue, this is a global issue, not just from your end.
Yeah.
And I think now, because this thing is, you guys, you're organizing for a seminar for maybe to talk to people, and I've heard all of you talking so many things that are making sense to me. And I'm happy that all of you, I can see you are towering me in terms of ages, in terms of age. Some of you, I think you have tested marriage and so beautiful relationship. But me, I've not yet gotten into marriage. I'm very young, not just young, but somehow young.
The nice thing about it is that once you are learning a lot, so by the time you decide to taste it, you would know exactly what you're doing.
Yes, and I'm so glad. So one thing I could request all of us, if you can check in and advise to our loved one, our kids, and everybody about our safety. Please let us not give our lives to anybody else. Let us make ourselves first in anything that we're doing, in any relationships. When I'm getting into a relationship, let me not give someone my life. Like, let not me call someone to account for my life. Let not my parent account for my life. Even my partner. Whenever some things like murder, before someone thinks of murder in a relationship, I think they have tried it several times.
Yeah.
And I think all human beings, is very different for them to read that thing. You will see it from far. Someone said that marriage is very spiritual, and I agree with them that marriage is spiritual.
Yeah.
And at some point, if you have good spiritual antennas, you can notice if this person can harm me or not. And if you, at doing your study very well, you can see this person can harm your life. I think there's no need for you to stay in that marriage.
Yeah.
Not only killing, you even fight. You should not stay in a place where someone is brutally, not even doing anything, like even slapping you. Nowhere in the Bible is written that someone should get married compulsory before they die.
Yeah.
You can get outside with your kids, you can get out here with your kids and keep them and give them the best life they can have. Imagine that person you're speaking of, she has died yesterday, she has left two small young ones. They will grow up without that mother figure. And maybe the father of the kids, the one who murdered the lady, might also die or might decide to abandon the kids.
Yeah.
Those kids, they might experience the worst someone can experience in life. So why should you just make sure first you're safe with your kids?
Yeah.
Don't blame us men. Don't keep on saying that we account for your safety. I think we thought that God has given us, all of us with sober minds, you can notice someone who can harm you and run.
Yeah.
You can run as early as possible. When you notice that this someone might harm my life, just run for your life.
Yeah.
No is promise, not even
Let me tell you, I had a conversation with somebody during the day today, and they were saying to me, so if somebody cheats on you and you leave, are you gonna leave like for the rest of your life? Are you gonna run for the rest of your life? And I was even teasing them. I'm like, bruh, when were you born? Because That type of mentality is the reason why people are killing other people. For you to get to a point where you have given up on yourself to a point where you are saying, it's the same wherever I'm going, I'm gonna experience something similar. I might as well sit here and build with this person. That you are a danger to yourself when you do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then this another thing that your parents, they are telling you that a good way, not even your parents, like the society.
Yeah.
Mostly in Kenya where I come from, our societies, they always credit women who have survived to even to some point of death in marriage. They always say those people, they are better than the ones who have left marriages and they're living their life without even their spouses. And I think that thing should not be considered in life anymore. That if someone can kill you, then it's better you live. Not even killing you. Why should you survive in the world? Well, in the world while you don't know even in heaven whether you get in heaven. First live today. You're not promised of tomorrow.
Yeah.
For today, have a good life. Don't stay in that toxic marriage. Not even those things of murder. A toxic relation, don't even agree with it. I cannot settle for that.
Yeah.
As I'm a man, but I'm not planning to have such toxic relationships. But for you ladies, please, whenever you see a man who is toxic, not only even as some men we experience that. Now you're discussing of ladies, but even as men, sometimes we experience those toxic relationships.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
And for me, a toxic relationship is a no go zone for me.
Yeah. You see, you love yourself. You love yourself. You understand how to distance yourself from something that's not good for you, which is something that a lot of us should actually have, actually.
Yes. Another thing, just one more point before I leave, that all of us, before we get into relationship, I think it's good that we get to know ourselves and the best people who can suit our life, those people that we can be compatible with them in a relationship. And we know our expectations. And most probably you check a person who is almost closer to whatever you are admiring in life. And maybe those things. Study, know who you are, know yourself first, and know what you want in life. Don't just go for anybody because you feel like you are late in marriage, you are late in a relationship. No, there's no lateness. I've said even there's no anywhere in the early books that someone should get into marriage or someone should get into relationship. Nowhere. Not even trophy after death that you will receive because you are married to someone.
Yeah.
So get to know yourself and choose the person who is closer to yourself. And by any chance, if things doesn't work as you go on after selecting that person, run for your life. I've said even a toxic, I cannot withstand even for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker. And
thank you so much. I love you, love you, love you. You know Kenya is my second home, right? So I believe you know that by now. Everybody knows that. I love you, my Kenyan people. All right. Tabs.
Thank you. Whenever you come to Kenya, visit and say hi to me.
I will. I will, because I'll be there soon. Beginning of next year, expect to see me in Kenya. I'll be back.
We're gonna look for you, waiting for you. I can't wait to see you.
Okay, cool. No problem. All right, thanks. Tabs, my darling, do you want to speak now or should I skip you? Because you are a radio of Para FM. Waya.
It's best when you leave the palafala to start speaking later on.
Okay.
Can I just get here? Because of, there's one thing, Madam Speaker. When we will be talking now, there's a lady who passed recently who spoke. I wish she was part of those who will be at the end, because of this one thing that it's happening. Normally when it comes to these discussions, there's information that we share, and that information, it needs to be okay, my tongue doesn't want to shift, shift. Oh my God, into different grades, so that the ones that are more valid that we need to partake with ourselves, it's there at the bottom. But I'm very, very emotional. I'm just listening. But Lynn, the same thing that happened to the lady. It's living like life with us now, like as in today. Everything that is happening, the scenarios of what is happening, the issues of the fraud they committed, everything, it's there.
Yeah.
It's in the family. And let me tell you, it's one of the topics that
I want people to really nail the family to say, where were you? Where were you not intervening? Because of I also want that resolution myself today. How do I solve it? Can I
Okay.
talk later?
Okay, please, I'm gonna hold that note of where were you when it comes to the family, because it sounds to me like you're agreeing with Eleanor, but we'll break it down later on. You'll speak last, my sister. Okay.
All right.
Okay. We have got DB. Hey, Jesus Christ! I'm a vendor girl. I don't know how to pronounce these names. Something with a D. Eh?
Thank you so much, Madam Speaker.
What's your name, my darling? How do I pronounce your name right? I wanna do right by you.
It's Ding Ding.
Ding ding.
My other name is Grace, yeah.
Oh, okay. Hi,
Ding
Gracie.
Ding.
Okay.
Ding Ding. I just wanted to say these topics are so profound, right? And if we ladies should learn how to love ourselves right now, we are preparing my cousin's funeral. Our cousin chose a man over his son, and on Sunday we were chilling very nice at a baby shower. When we came back, only to find out after we came back, we were happy from the baby shower. He then shot himself, my cousin, and the son.
Ha.
So now we are preparing for the son's funeral. He's also gone, and my cousin has survived by the mercy of God, but she's still in hospital. So it is such I'm so emotional with this topic because when can we open our eyes as ladies? When do we say this is a red flag and get away?
My
know,
sister.
if I can just spread the message that let's learn to love ourselves. You know, it's so painful having to prepare a funeral of a 27-year-old, and how do you kill a son that is not yours? You know, so it's so painful that every day we speak about gender-based violence, but it's like it's getting worse instead of it getting better.
Sure,
You know,
sis. That is so
so
sad. I'm so
that's
sorry.
what I wanted to share. That things are tough, guys. Can we just learn
This story of your cousin, is it something which is on the public eye, or it's something that it never made it to mainstream media?
It happened, yeah, and we saw the red signs. It's something we did not go public, but it's on, the local radio stations and so forth. You know, it just happened on Sunday. Imagine now it's a week before Christmas. We are now planning the funeral. You know, it's so painful what we are going through, and I don't wish it to any family member right now. Anyone to go through what we are going through. Their comrades are shooting. They are celebrating the death. The murderer, he was an ANC comrade. So they are busy shooting. I am speaking to you at something that is happening live here. As you can hear gunshots.
What are they shooting at now?
They are just doing that tradition they normally do. Well, they're shooting and doing stuff, like celebrating. And I'm like, how do you celebrate a murderer?
Yo, Jesus Christ.
How do you celebrate a murderer? It's what they were doing while he was alive, going to funerals, shooting. That is what they are basically promoting. That it's okay to shoot. Gender-based violence, it's just, so it's things like this that we as a community should change. Corey, we celebrate things that don't have to be celebrated. We celebrate violence,
Sure, sis.
It is so painful, Madam Speaker.
Yo.
But it's the reality of life.
Askis, my darling, please do share with us our links or mention somewhere where this thing happened so that we can make it public, because some of us we specialize in just making things public.
Yeah, no problem. It's got away to more problem, Fisher.
Is it?
It's just a huge thing. Okay. But I will share.
I will share.
Thank you so much, my love. I'm so sorry, eh?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome,
ladies.
honey.
Yeah.
Okay, we have Summer April. Okay, guys, because of the time, we're not going to allow more people to come in because I think we have enough people on the panel to carry us through until our wrapping up time. So no more new requests, only the old ones. Summer, Aprils?
Hi, Madam Speaker. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, darling.
Okay, sanibonani, abantu.
Yay.
Abakatshesi.
Yes,
Nice
we are
to
the people of the
meet
Jesus.
you. It's nice to be involved in such a topic. Every time when I see reels or I see your reels or I listen to content partaking to this, I get so triggered, and I end up, when you're speaking to yourself, it's like you're in an interview. End up speaking and say, "Oh, this is the problem." So, if anything, let me just share my thoughts with everyone. I think the main problem when it comes to not just females or males, is that we are coveting a lot. We are not happy with ourselves. We are looking for happiness. We are looking for love. We're looking for so many things outside of ourselves to satisfy ourselves, to bring ourselves at peace, that we are able to settle for anything. We are so in love with social media, with movies, and the idea of what romance is in this world, that we forget there are fundamental parts in looking at partners that we cannot miss. And for me, some of those parts would be certain things that come with patience. For example, I'll give you an example of what I went through yesterday. I hope this person is not watching, but yeah, so in the past couple of days, I reconnected with an ex of mine. And this ex was the ex that I'd met before the father of my child. And the father of my child, it was very toxic. It was a toxic relationship. So I came out of that relationship knowing I'll never do that again. I told myself, here's a team. Something. So then I stayed about a year and a couple of months single, like not entertaining anyone, literally just taking accountability also for the actions I took in the relationship to let it lead like that. Even for it to even get there, for me to even stay to get to that point, I need to take accountability to say it's okay. You didn't do 1, 2, 3 and leave. So my say figure not what you are a victim. You put yourself in a situation, so don't victimize yourself. We are to that extent, I'll get to that point. But yes, this ex, when I started speaking to him, is very nice. So nice. It was like love bombing. Oh, I can't wait to see you. Can I come today to your house? Oh, let's go to a wedding. Like just a lot. It was just so much, and I got triggered. I'm like, wait, this is the culture. The culture is to bombard a person with so much flowers. They have all this to kind of blind them from what is actually going on with this person. You are blinded by the flowers. You are blinded by going to a restaurant. You're blinded by all these social media standards that you're not actually looking at the actual red flag. Is he patient enough when you're working the whole day or when you're busy with something the whole day, the next day you were cheating, passive aggressiveness over the phone call, no shady comments? Is he patient enough just for one day? And usually the answer is no. You'll ask, where were you? What were you doing? And, that's a red flag. If a person cannot trust you, especially if a person was a person that knew you before and they still can't trust you, there's a problem there. There's an underlying problem. So things like that. And I realized I was actually looking at it as a case study. And then I realized, okay, it's hard to detach even from this 3 days old conversation. Why is it hard to detach? It's because now I've kind of already created an illusion and a story in my head. A movie I took that movie from Netflix and now I put it in my mind now. Now I'm living and I need the happy ending. And usually that's what women do. They fantasize, they daydream, they create illusion and expectation of the other man, and they hope for it to be fulfilled on no basis, on no factual basis. Just the fact that they watched a movie yesterday and the notebook was so nice, I deserve that. You know? He says guard your heart, and I feel like that's so important. Not guarding your heart just from other people, but guarding your heart from certain content that will leave you in a daydream. Guarding your heart in certain instances that will mislead you from the truth. What have you learned in your life? As much as you don't want to go in the past and say, they always say, hey, don't bring your past relationships in your new relationship. That's fair. But what have you learned? Are you going to discard everything you've learned in the hopes of just starting blindly? No. Even in money, even in finances, even in school, you learn grade 1, grade 2. You've learned something. You have to go with what you've learned, what you've achieved to go to the next grade. Not to imagine you must forget the past per se. And, you know, I think that's one big thing is that people covet, like we're obsessed with finding love outside. We're not satisfied with being without us. Yes, there's this other video, this lady is lonely. I'm at this age, I just want someone to hold me. I just want, everyone goes through that, guys. I get I feel it lonely. That's so scary. But how many times, let's say you're in a relationship, and now you are lonely. Are you going to tell me you're going to go outside of your marriage or something to satisfy that loneliness? Because when you can't sit with your flesh, you can't. Feelings come, emotions will come anytime. But are you ready to be in a relationship? You're lonely, you're needing it, but are you ready? Is the person that you're after ready? Are all the things in line? Are they in order? Do you feel like God is leading you? That's another part. Do you feel like God is saying, okay, go? Did you pray before you make that call? Did you pray to God and say, God, hey, Max, did you ask God? You are literally, people are just literally moving and hoping and not even praying, especially about relationships, which as a single mother, it involves our children.
Absolutely.
Especially single mothers, they should be even more cautious when it comes to relationships, even more prayerful when it comes to relationships, because there's this, I'm sure you've heard of the trophy wife, right, on YouTube, that lady, trophy wife, who was advocating for a high, what is it, they call it, high value men, and how the kind of women that high value men go after and how you could be one. She married a high value man. Then she came out with a video saying that high value man molested her children. I am telling you, was on YouTube. This is a famous YouTuber in the States.
What's her name?
So now she's trophy wife. Trophy wife, something like the A.
I'll check her out.
So after her saying that, it's like, how many people have watched that video? How many people have bought the dresses that you've recommended? How many people have started talking and doing everything, but still ultimately Sophia Gulendau? And it's not because of you. It's because God is trying to prove a point. It's not about what you do. It's about where he wants you to go. It's not about this idea of materialism. It's not about how you look. A lot of the times women will say, no, you have to dress dress a certain way, but it's not about that. If you are beautiful, they will still beat you. But did you involve God? If you are rich, if you are an advocate in the highest of courts, he will still feel intimidated. Did you pray? Did you pray? Did you involve God? Did you abstain? I know that one is a bit of a
tricky,
touchy one.
Tricky.
Did you abstain? Did you use at least that control measure before picking this guy? If he can't stay in a relationship with you without abstaining, what do you think is going to happen when you get married to him?
Sure.
What patience do you think he'll have for you or your children that you are bringing in the marriage?
Yeah. Sure.
Lastly, I'll speak about leaving. we say, let's say now all of these things have happened. No one is blaming you. And it's you. I've learned through it.
I'm losing you there. I lost you there, babes.
The living part.
Okay, I
I'm
think.
let's pass all of this information. Let's say you are now in a relationship. Now you are deeply in love. Now you're invested financially, emotionally. Everything is now connected. And you cannot leave this man. This man has got your heart. Apparently, this is your heart. It's not your heart, but to you, because it gives you anxiety every time you think of living with us, it's your heart. Because to you, it gives you fear. You think it's your heart. And I think as women now, let's discover what love is. Let's discover what actual love is. For a person, before they leave, these are the questions, and I've been through this myself. How am I going to raise my child alone? My child needs a father figure. How am I going to manage financially alone? How am I going to face society? I told abantu basesontweni ukuthi bangilobolile. So how am I going to face them with the mntana ngesontweni every time mntana, and my child is active, so she goes to church and she runs around. So she's not the quiet type of mother and daughter. I sing at church, she runs around. We make a noise, you know. So how am I going to stand people looking at me and asking me, are you married? Where's your husband? He's not coming. You know, all those things. It's not about that. You made a mistake. In my mind, this is what I told myself after. I made a mistake. I need to take accountability. I had sex before marriage. It was after meet. That was my mistake. Other people will say, no, but I had sex after marriage and he's still there. That's fine. That's your own case. I'm speaking about what I went through. I did not take accountability for that. Instead, I tried to cover it up. We worked it into ilobola. That was not, for me, it was not complete marriage. We didn't go through premarital counseling. I did not invite God fully into what I called a marriage. Let me take accountability for that. And if there's shame that I will face for that, let me face it and get over it. It will pass.
Yeah.
Let me raise my child knowing I'm raising my child in a healthy environment. Let me stop thinking because the man is around, it's healthy. No, what am I teaching my child? What environment am I exposing her to? She will go. She is so intelligent. She will literally come in between. She used to come in between her and me and her dad and say, "Stop fighting." And at that time, she was 3 or 2. Very small little girl, stopping her mom and her dad from noise. Sure. So how dare I think I'm helping her by staying in a relationship?
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times when these women try to leave, they're faced with finance, they're faced with people's eyes, they're faced. And to get over it, take accountability. No one is perfect. Take accountability. Say, okay, I got into this relationship because I needed 1, 2, 3. I was lonely and I fell in love. And this person is treating me badly. Get out of it. Take accountability. You made a mistake. You didn't know he tricked you. Okay, fine. It's fine if he tricked you. Get out of it. Yeah. Take accountability. Ima for abantwana bakho. Before bakubulala, they said no one is able to raise those children. Mela abantwana bakho, iba brave enough to I will be alone. For a whole year, umfazi ayi-1, abantu bazibuza ukuthi hawu kanjani umuhle kodwa hey anginandaba angibuyeli laphaya. I'm not going back to a place where I know I made a wrong decision. And one thing I can thank God for now is that do yourself a favor. If you know what you want a relationship and you want to get into a relationship, fine. But at least put certain standards. Say, will you wait for me in my celibacy, or will you wait for me to be ready? Put certain standards. It's not a trick. It's not a test. It's until you're ready. We all know there's a process of being ready. Start small. If you're not celibate, start small and say, will you wait for me? have conversation, understand the communication. If lo muntu lo uba passive aggressive instead of being a direct communicator, make those things are never gonna get easier. So also, you know, is this person intentional? Find those things out. Google what is intentional. If you know, make a list for yourself and stop counting on movies and butterflies and feelings to build a relationship and a husband for you. Stop counting on emotions. I don't know if I'm making sense.
No, I hear you. I hear you. Thank you so much, my love. I really, really appreciate what you shared with us today. I feel like this is one of those things that immediately when we're done here, I'm going to have to go all the way back and re-listen all over again with a notebook this time around. So thank you so much, Wena Summer April. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We are almost at the end of the live, guys. We're just buying time. I don't know from where. But we have at least, we've got 2 people to go before we get to subs. We've got Amanda and Michelle. Hey, Amanda.
Good evening, Madam Speaker. How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you, my love?
I'm good, thank you, my love. I only have my 2 cents to say. I just want to say that as people, we also have to regenerate and unlearn certain things. This thing of saying I grew up seeing my dad abusing my mom has to stop, because we are old now and we are more knowledgeable now. We live in a world of technology. We see these things on television. We see shows like Ufelani. You know, we hear about GBV on radio stations. We know that it's wrong. So using an excuse of saying, no, but I grew up in an environment that, no, you are old now. You can't use that. You can't violate other people and then say, no, but I grew up like this. Unlearn. If you see that it's a very serious problem for you to not do it, go to therapy. There are therapists, there are psychologists, they are there for a reason.
But Amanda, you know what is the tricky? What is the tricky part about these things of people saying I grew up watching my dad beat up my mom is, how is it possible that the other child will then decide, oh, because I watched my dad abusing my mom, I'll stay away from a situation like this, and the other one wants to copy what the dad was doing? How does the psychology behind that work? Cause me, I don't know. I don't understand. I kind of feel like it's an excuse, because when you're an adult now and there's so many things that you learn from your parents, there are things that you can chuck away and there are things that you can take and use as an excuse to say, when you see me like this, I'm broken because of my parents, but you're not willing to fix the brokenness.
Yeah, that is what I'm saying. To say, no, but you can't use that. You can't say, no, I grew up like this. You are old now. We're not living in 1950 whereby we say, no, love is abuse. Come on, man. As people, we have to grow and, you know, think. If I'm saying, if you feel like the relationship or how you were groomed as a child abused you to a point that now you feel like that's the only form of love that you have to show, go to therapy.
Yeah, guys, you know, for those of us, I'm actually thinking about this as we're talking when Amanda, that abuse. I don't even know what type of demon abuse is, because even in the Bible, I don't remember women being beaten up as a sign of them being disrespectful and them being shown the way.
Yeah.
There was literally a woman by the name of Queen Vashti or something like that who was married to a king, that the king said, come and model and parade yourself with the crown. She refused. The worst they could do to her was to dethrone her from the queen, and then they made Ruth the queen. Why can't we learn to do that with people today, especially Abazalwan? Because we are the ones who are doing these things. You are beating up a woman, you don't want to dethrone. This stigma thing of saying I can't because people, where is it coming from?
Exactly my point. And you know, Madam Speaker, I was talking to my mom not so long ago, because I also have a cousin sister who's enduring domestic violence, like school. And I was asking my mom, because she's my cousin sister, and I was not there when she was getting married. I was in varsity. And I was asking my mom, I was like, what did you guys say to this person for her to endure like this? Because I know our older generation has this thing of saying, no, how, especially we Zulus, there's this tradition of when you're getting married, you leave with a casket to your place, your house.
Yeah.
That's a sign that no, now you uzofela khona lapho uya khona. And I was asking my mom, I was like, no, but what did you guys say to this person? I also think because of the things that what did you say exactly? I also feel like also that has to change as well. We have to start with our parents to say, mama, and then people get killed, especially women. We know, I understand that men also experience domestic violence, but it's more particularly in women because we are powerless. I can't defeat a man. Agukang dichipita 8 kg. You get what I'm saying, Madam Speaker. So it's a problem. It's really a problem.
Yes, no, I hear you and I totally agree with you, my darling. Thank you so much for sharing your 2 cents is worth more than millions, okay? I just want you to know that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the platform, Madam Speaker.
You're most welcome, my love. Michelle. Yes, ma'am.
Can I come in?
I don't know what you
I
say.
promise I won't be long, Taps. Is that okay? All right, thank you.
Okay, cool.
Good evening, Madam Speaker. Hi, then. Thank you very much for the platform.
Thank you so much, my love, for joining in.
You know, the lady that just left here said something which was very profound, that we need to start with our parents. Our parents, that's where as well the issue is when it comes to us ladies. And she just reminded me of when I was also married, and you know, as I was about to leave, it was said, "Tlamehile o dule wa go rata," it's his way of showing. And you know, we shouldn't be afraid of being rebels, and we shouldn't be afraid of being called names should we decide to leave. If you want to leave, leave. And this are parents that they never even groomed us. I come from a broken family, yes, but it's not an excuse to say I come from a broken family and my dad used to beat up my mother, so therefore I understand when a man comes and does things to me. I made a choice. I had to build a character looking at older ladies to say, hey, that one I like that and I would take it, and that one I like that, because I had no one to assist me to say, how Olingwanyana, this is what you do, this is what you carry yourself, this is what the education, this is the background that you need to get in terms of education, do this. So I had to do that on my own. So we are all capable. And I want to tell people that we are all capable. If it means go back to the drawing board, start making, you know, be busy and downgrade from a big car to a small car, so be it, because that is your life and your children's life if you value it that much. And we are so afraid of what society says. And we forget that those same women that are sitting in marriages of 40 years, most of them are going through hell. But they will tell you, they won't tell you the hell that they're going through, but they will tell you, I don't take that. But just going back to the case, I know I joined the live quite late. I don't know if you touched on it. So I looked at the video of the guy, and, you know, as he was talking, I did not see any remorse, and I stand to be corrected. I didn't see him being remorseful when he did that video. And for me, that says this was planned, you know? And the other concern that I have, and I hope on your closing remarks you guys will touch on it, is that there was a lady that was interviewed, I think it's part of a family or an aunt or something. She was talking about an incident where this guy, and they went and said, no, it was an accident. And then he assisted in terms of claiming for RAF. So now, don't these cases get investigated before you are paid up your monies? And this is a person that knows you only and for the family it was a mistake you know. And there was a woman that says you should always involve family. You involve family whether you do or not. If they're not going to do anything about it, they're not. And there's some of us that would like to keep our lives private, and I know when you're in a situation like that, yes, maybe it is wrong. But if you can't speak to a family member, the psychologist, go speak to. There's people like you, Madam Speaker, where you can DM and say, hey, there's no way around and talk about my issues. But I know for sure you will give me a word of advice, and I will take, you know, your perspective and decide if I want to use it or not. And, you know, things happen to us, all of us in this country, but it's how we react. That we can control. There's certain things that we can't control when they happen to us, but our reaction we can control. So for me, it's quite sad, and I hope and I pray that, you know, we always say get 2024, you still wearing that thing, it's so 2022. Can GBV also be part of that to say it's 2024? Can it end? Can it end?
I believe
Thank
that
you
is my
very
prayer.
much.
Thank you so much, my love. Last but not
Thanks.
least, we have Tabs, my darling, my beloved. Please wrap it up for us, my sister. You are the one who is doing in conclusion, because you are my big sister, and Mina, I'm literally just done. So I need you
How
to do
are
that
you?
for me. Good, thanks. How are you, my love?
I'm good. Madam Speaker, I've seen the video, I've seen the family's comments, I've seen the guy's family's comments, everything. But what I have identified is that this person has been abusive from the kickstart. When he says that the kids are not his, when there was lobola and everything that happened, in between their separations and everything, he's basically putting in, I found the picture of the guy who we were dealing with. And one of the signs that we need to be very careful of is the issue of the social media, Madam Speaker. The guy's message on his post was very clear. They were very, very clear that he is disgusting to have changed. You know, the lady, when she stayed in the relationship after the beating and after the accident, she stayed because of he saw a person who has changed. Even the uncle of the guy says the guy had changed. And when he was putting in all those videos, he's basically breaking down as if a person who is going for counseling and now he had learned something and now he had changed and he's moving to another stage, which this can happen to anyone because of, this is why normally, Madam Speaker, I say that if you are in a race and you get wounded, you move from the lane, sit on the side, and start healing when and do not expect that when you stand up, you might be able to run the race with the people that you were with. Which is one of the messages that I want to give to the ladies. Stop this thing, Yalona Yagorbana. I met him and Shapa I changed 2 days. If it can change Mabala, it changed because of it was to change for itself.
Yeah.
Not you.
Yo.
And it might even change not for you, but for somebody else. But let me tell you something. Stop this thing of Fruna to say we are going back together. You know, Madam Speaker, when I was saying that, where's the family? Maybe I need to start this thing. I feel that we are not taking, we are basically putting in the family and everybody in this situation. When I'm saying that I've been, we are going through that, it's because of somebody that I know very closely. It's in a sort of the same predicament that the lady went through. And you know, Madam Speaker, one of the things that we need to learn is that let's stop bringing in the third parties in to put a blame on. We need to put the blame on the lady who passed away for her to take a decision to go into the relationship back again. And then we need to also put in the responsibility of the lady. One of the things that the lady did, she agreed and went into a transactional relationship with the guy for them to get the money. Now that the money is out, the guy perceives it as the lady is leaving, while the lady is tired of being with this guy. So the two of them, they committed a fraud together. Now that they are not able to share it, we want to bring in the family to say that, where is the family? We are saying, where is the sister? Where is the brother? Madam Speaker, I'm telling you that the person that I'm talking about, he would wake up at 12 o'clock, call you, Aliko, go, let me give you an example. Now you are in Palabora, and then he will call you, or go Jobek, Aliko Palabora. I'm running, I'm going behind the street that is behind what? Mama, can you call them to come and assist you? The next day they are all together. So where do we blame? Who do we blame in this situation? Do we blame the mother to say you allowed it? This is a grown-up. We have stages that we're teaching our kids, and there are stages that we nurture them. And the stage where you take accountability of your behaviors, regardless of how you grew up, regardless of what you have seen your father doing, what your mother did to you. We are now talking about you. If we all have to go back to where we grew up in, this means that the whole will not even have a single person in South Africa now. We were supposed to be just a mess. If we are drunkards, rebedi drunkards kamuka. If we are prostitute, renedi prostitute babot. But we chose a life that we want to live. The fact that you are coming from a broken family, that is one of the pity party that you want us to play with you.
Come on now.
So now, if you want us to play that pity party with you, that you grew up, your mother was beating, and you thought this is how, were you part of the flesh that your mother was being beaten on? And then now, what happened to you when you started feeling the pinch of your first boyfriend beating you? Was it nice? If it's not. And say that my mom enjoyed this and I'm going to enjoy it. You have a good relationship with abuse. And then now you come here to say to us that please help me now, I'm in trouble. You will come out. It doesn't matter how many times it happens. Yes, there's a cycle of the repeat based on the researches of how many times can you exit it. But you can exit it from the first point when you knew that I'm not going to be part of this.
Yeah.
The other thing, financial independency. Why do we all want us to benefit from somebody? Men and speaker, men are also tired of us asking for money from them. Since even now, they're even tired. This is why they put us our value as a value of monetary value. If I have money, I have a woman. When are we going to discuss with the girl child to say, girl child, work your butt out, wanaka flyer, utamai wilu bereka overseas and come back? Can the marriage be the last thing like a man? There's no man who gets married as nachelete.
Yeah.
They even we are as far as to leave him matric to find a job so that he can get married. And then you come in to say that I will be a grade 8, grade 10 who is a mother somewhere and thinking of idolizing and having a child in there. And now I want to put this thing back to the community. Who told you that a person is matured when he's 21 to have a child or after matric? Who gave you that description of that? Because of this person is very young. Yeah. Madam Speaker, we just buried a neighbor of mine. I'm not that close with them and my in-laws, né? But I can see from a distance and what they are saying. When I read the obituary, I realized that the poor girl child came in here at grade 10, had her first child, 1984 or 85, and then the other one in between, she's only 50 years, by 6. And the husband, they met when they were in grade 8 or grade 9, but the husband now is a teacher. He's a good politician. He has money and he's working for himself. Where is that thing of you working for yourself? Yes, you got pregnant in between, but where were you when this person was building his career? In between, the guy realized that, you know what, I'm tired of this person. I want to marry somebody else. Yes, depression, she hit her very hard. She died of depression. She died of depression. She got mentally disturbed in there. She left kids that are so young now. The last one is of the age of my child, about grade 6 to 9, 10 years. And you know what? All the children that she had, they are going into those footsteps. Can we start discussing of self-development now? Yeah. Can we start teaching our kids of self-development now? Can we start talking to a boy child to say that, Wanaka, if you meet a woman who does not have a vision, move and find somebody else. You cannot leave the vision that you have to a person who doesn't even know what to do.
Absolutely.
Immediately when that standard is set by the man and by the woman, because of now, you say,
come on now.
Where were you when that man was building his career? What were you doing? You thought your womb will be more holier than thou to keep a man. How many wombs do we have here on earth that are left? How many?
Sure.
And you think that Mina, I will keep in Kabana Lebana and everything. Yes, the guy needs to account, Madam Speaker.
Yeah.
He needs to account because of the time when he started pretending. The lady believed the guy. And let me tell you, if you go to ask the friend of the lady, this guy did not start on the day. It did not start when he got hit by the car. The family cannot tell me that now, Madam Speaker, I know exactly what is happening underneath what the person I know is doing and the issue of the wrath. But because of now, if I talk, I will be on this thing. When that thing happens, I don't have to pretend as if I don't know. You know, accident. No, you know. You know, yours is just to tell the truth because of this truth that you'll be telling on that day. When the family tells us the truth today, they are telling me, Tabang, wake up. If he beats you, Afeta Areke Rafu and everything, wake up. Run for your life. Do not even go. Who are you, Madam Speaker, to go into this thing, a fraudulent thing with a boyfriend and think that that person is holy to you?
Yo.
A person who is able to defraud the whole system of wrath.
There's no
And you
honor
think that
amongst
he will be
thieves.
there with you. Who went through to the doctors, paid the doctors, the police station, the lawyers, everything. There's a process for you to get there. And then now you think that this would be my Jesus one day.
Yeah.
There's no day that he was waiting for. He had planned this thing long time ago. Let's learn to run for our lives. Yes, there are mental illnesses that are there, Madam Speaker. There are many of the borderline, there are many. And part of them is that we should also get our individualized, what's this thing? Diagnosis. Those who say that now I grew up from a toxic family. Madam Speaker, I come from a very toxic family. But let me tell you, I need to be me. When God created me and say I'm creating them in their image, in my image, and then he started the process of saying that you will stay in somebody's womb, he will nurture you. When you are grown, you go. Christ started growing from a very young age. At 10 years old, he started knowing the truth. What makes me not to know the truth and the reality on earth at 10 years? At 10 years.
Yeah.
It is because of now. This thing of the generational curses and everything, this is part of the spiritual things that we go through, Madam Speaker, that we are lying to ourselves. Let's start working. If it is a spiritual curse, then work on it.
Yeah.
Why does it sit inside a cupboard until the day when you are in distress? Or when you are being killed and then you are saying, it is a curse, it is a curse. Who needs to take you out of that curse? And I'm glad that we identify that this is a curse. But what do you do with the curse? If you say this is fire, what do you do with the fire? You distinguish it. So why this kind of fire you don't distinguish it? And Madam Speaker, I want to call this one again. We need to start talking. You know, we are many. We are 300 and something here now. And we are not there. Those at the window. Let me say we are 500. And those who will go to your troop. How many of us women who are here and men who are here who do not want to go to the underlying issue of what happened with this lady? And there's this guy, and we put an excuse. Ke bofebe, ke mang a go fileng right ya gore wena o kitime ka bofebe ba batho? Ke mang a rileng wena? If e le gore ke sefebe, she did that. Who gave you the key ya go loka dikuku tsa batho? And wena go febe, ke mang o a go fileng the right ya gore o deal with the other person? If you know yourself, you will leave what is good for you and leave. It is very stupid. We had a guy at the bottom who was saying that, you know what, now I will kill for love. Kill for love, unye ngwanaka. You will go to jail or kill yourself. And the worst part, mmago o go sala morago. Because of what heart attack, because of you killed yourself for a girl. And let me tell you, anything that is distinct for you, it will never harm you. Anything that God has created for you, it will never kill you. It will never hit you. If it starts pinching you, know that it is not meant for you.
Yeah.
And stop this thing of being delusional and say that there's a curse, what's this thing? Witchcraft, did the girlfriend be? There's no girlfriend who be the other person. How can I reserve my space through you? You have tolerance to that and you still have hope to stay there and you are staying for yourself. Not the children, not the family, not anybody's dignity, but for your own personal dignity. That you shield from us to say that, and your pride, Madam Speaker. And your pride, because of now, when you ask the lady, she's saying, when I ask Pell now and say Pell, and then when I give example, Pell, Pell, and then now I say, Pell, why are you saying, I don't know, you know, Siriti Sarina, how do you reserve Siriti Sarina before sa family before Sahau? You are lying to us. You wouldn't even agree to that if you knew what is your dignity. And Madam Speaker, now we have parents here. I want to really call out the pastors. Let's start preaching the reality on earth. I was on Joshua Christ or mix some vein here on earth now. But we have the reality of the issues that are happening here. What does the word say about abuse? What does the word say about a person going through rape? How many of the people who went through rape and went through this thing, distress? Why don't we teach people about this thing? How about the women who were in the Bible? At least there are many who were able to lead, who were there to. Why are we really declining this good creation of God? Because of now, we are talking about this thing. Currently, now it's December, people are taking kids to their circumcision. You are telling our kids, 9 years, in circumcision, to say that, today, 10 years. You distance yourself from taking part into the growth of the child by ceding it to somebody else. Instead of you supporting the child.
Yeah.
So let's take this thing of the discussion of what is it. Can we start talking about current affairs? Can we start talking about the reality, the real illnesses that are there? Can we advise each other, like, Madam Speaker, let's do that, because of now. If now we are talking about the church, like the spiritual guidance, and you mold it the way you want it to be. Why are we not calling the community to say that community, the tribal community, everybody, why don't we lecture those people on top?
Yeah.
Why the real question to say that will you be glad to see a coffin how if they are telling you not to tell a family, now I told you what I told my mother-in-law from the first day. I don't know if something happens, say, that means we're run rat. Because if it's something that needs to be discussed, let it be discussed. If it needs to be hidden, why is it being hidden? Question that.
Yeah.
Because of now we are talking, the lady is gone. And we have people here whose kids are going to be married to the very same kids who the lady left.
Yeah.
Who are saying that I will kill for love. Who are you to kill for love? This is because of you don't have self-love. If the guy loved himself enough, Madam Shika, he would never kill for that lady. It doesn't matter what happened. He would have packed and left and found the lady and started driving.
And Sister, it goes back to that thing, Yauri. Now, if somebody can't love themselves, how do you expect them to love you? With all the things that he's saying he did for her, I did this for her, I did that, I tried to make her happy. Clearly, you don't love yourself. So if you don't love yourself,
how do you make
how
a
do you
person,
love
how
me?
do you become the source of my happiness? This is one of the characters that we need to really see, that this person has a problem, disorder itself. How do I come in and make people smile when I'm not smiling? How do you as people or yourself accept the pretentious love that he brings to you? Because of this person had a project that he put on the floor, yes, this is the lady, ke tlo mo fa mablomo today, ka mo fa eng, ka mo fa eng. But you know very well gore the root of this thing is not even here. This person is bribing me, and you accept it.
Yeah.
It cannot be that you taking an action, you start even when digest very early. If you see me hitting you today or insulting you, this is because of I've been digesting those insults for so long. And I'm glad that both families are not protecting anyone.
Yeah.
I'm glad that the guy's family says that they have been in a bad relationship for so long, and we didn't even know that they're back together. So now that they're together,
Yo, it was
and
such a
this thing,
heartbreaking thing.
Madam Speaker, of us, not even Basadi, both of us, because it's the two of us that were there, of saying that let's go to fix together.
I'm
So
losing
it's
you,
so
Tabs.
sad today, Mary.
I lost you. I lost
you. There's these people who have this trait of us. Really, no. You. There's these people who have this trait. You know what? I am looking for love. How do you look for love somewhere? If you know how I create first, start learning to love yourself first. And one of the things that, Madam Speaker, I want to tell the ladies is, if you see yourself growing beyond and the person you are with is not growing, jealousy will come in, Madam Speaker, because of now. You come in. This is why some people, they will say, I normally say, when I tell my nephew, when you marry a person who is already developed, to know what is their relationship with money, and what is their goal with self. Because of now, you marry a person who knows you as nothing. All of a sudden, you are working, you are doing everything, but this person is not growing. If you see that he's not growing, competition is coming, Sissy. Jealousy is coming, and he's going to unalive you because of he wants your money.
Sure.
And because of he doesn't even know what is that a million can finish in one day. But if you grow and he also grows. Madam Speaker, in my marriage, I have the discussions of, I am growing this year. How are we growing? I would say I'm doing honors now. What are we doing? I am growing. Be careful, because of very soon you will be attacked by that spirit. I've seen that spirit attacking my father. And it attacked him for real. So it's either you grow, men grow. Set your standard to be so high. Stop being the builders. Let's stop this thing. That guy was a builder. And he barely busy a mansion that he thinks or you will stay in. How do you build something that is permanent, that is not yours? It's the same thing of you saying that I'm working on something, but you don't even have a title deed of that land. That is not your land. Start building yourself. If you give.
Yeah.
And stop this thing of Lena to say that I am going to plant a seed somewhere and then I'll be watering it. But that is not your plant.
Come on.
And it's not even your land. So let's start building start building self first and continue seeding. And when you seed, you need to seed knowing that I might not be able to reap the fruits of this, but I am doing it for this person.
Yeah.
And then you must also know that if you have the kids with the person, that does not certify that you and this person should stay together forever.
Amen.
If it's time for you to leave, disperse it and leave.
Yeah.
We have seen marriages coming in. There are people who are very good when they're couples. And then there's the time where the kids come in and now you are no longer even suitable for one another. Move. Move. Because if you don't, you will blame people. You'll be running behind people. Madam Speaker, I'm speaking a lot, but let me say this thing, ladies, gentlemen. Let's go back and work on this thing. Let's start the narrative of my child grow up. Ushate, Wednesday. Those are your blessings. This is why we run after them. They are not even coming because of your mouth.
Amen.
So that thing, it's part of what God have put in. And if it's not there, it's not there.
Yeah.
Let's start today. Monna tlogela go tlhella o re wena o nyala mosadi wa Misha sekolong.
I
When
hear
I
you.
continue with yourself, it is not your responsibility, and it not being your responsibility. If you're not doing it, don't be toxic to somebody. And if she's not suitable for you, leave.
Ish, my
If he
sister.
is not suitable for you, stop this thing.
You know, my sister, Emma Bailey Tubbs, you know what I think the problem is in the situation where you find a man taking a woman and then Amisha Skolung and all that stuff. In my opinion, I feel like you intentionally pick someone like that because in your head you are thinking you are going to mold them into what you want them to become, something that's going to be desirable for you.
That is
Because it's
grooming,
not like,
and it's
yes, you want to
toxic.
groom them. Because for me, I feel like it's not like there are no other women around when you went and specifically picked this one that you still have to do the work of taking them to school.
Madam Speaker, that is grooming. And let me tell you, that person is toxic. That is what my dad would normally say. "Arekishite mahulena skolong," and
Yeah.
And then later on, he started changing a tune. Ari, when you say that, but you were not there when I was at school because of when I and live with your things. He started changing a tune when I started working, Madam Speaker. Ari, no, it is because I thank the Lord for giving me powers to take your mom to school so that he can take you. It was a very long thing. And now you are a person because of your mom. He is basically when he's fooling me, and I say, I think now not seen that song because of you have your individual responsibility. This person is sitting the responsibility to hire and then wago grooma.
Yeah.
No one can come in, Arno. I'm here, I'm taking you to school. When you come back, you become a doctor. You take care of our finances, and then you take care of everything. Very soon, this person is doing an investment on you. And you know what happens when investment goes? You take the money and leave.
Yeah.
And you don't even take into accountability of what happens to the company that you invested in.
Hey,
If it
my
has for
sister.
you, if it takes for you to kill that company, you can kill it and you take your investment. This is why when they say a company it's dilapidating, we go there to take our investment and run as soon as we can.
Yeah.
Of what happens to it, we don't care. So Lorena, let's stop this thing. Let's learn to build ourselves.
Amen.
Ladies, do something, anything. Banna, do something, anything. When only one. Stop this thing of having a mansion with somebody else. And in future, Madam Speaker, we need to talk about this thing because of now. I don't know how are we supposed to sing or scream and but
Yeah.
every day we talk and talk. Now we are all quiet. We are here. But I'm telling you, there's somebody waiting for my is because of jealousy.
I've heard that so many
jealousy. And
times.
let me tell you what happens when your kids die. He gets married in community of property with me. And then because of we are in community of property with me, I kick your kids first out. They can only get their portion of their dad when he dies. And when he dies, I will be able to do anything before they could even come because of you disadvantage them by dying without a will. You disadvantage them by staying in a toxic relationship. And I came in and took over. And by that time, they cannot even push me. Sagui is my lawyer and I'm paying a lot and I'm richer than your kids because of your husband who killed you or is abusing you and say you are tolerant to that. That means that you have a generation, you have set a disappointment for them here on earth to say that they will do whatever. And my kids will step on their head.
Yeah.
Because of their mother was very stupid. Or their father. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you so much, my darling. I literally have to go back also on yours and listen to the whole thing all over again because I know that this was a lesson and a half. I really appreciate your input always, always, always. And I love you so much. Thank you so much, guys. I'm not so sure. I don't want to promise whether tomorrow we're going to be going live again or not, but I just want to say, Hori, let's continue the conversation in the comment section on YouTube. I see you all, 300 and something of you there on YouTube. Please just give it a thumbs up, so that you mark the register to show that really we were 300 plus.
Thank
Everybody
you,
else is
Madam
on
Speaker.
TikTok.
Let me say thank you for the live, and then let me go out, and then this is very important for us to share.
Absolutely.
And also to keep on sharing. Can we share the link? Can we share the live with our family members? Can we share? It takes other people 20 years to really digest things, but let's continue sharing.
Yeah.
If you had something, send it to somebody. If you had something positive, send it to anybody. Send it to your church communities. Send it to your pastor that you were listening to Madam Speaker and nonsense. So go there. And then if you rely on the word, go to ask the word, or what are you saying about this?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
If you rely on whatever, go to sit there. I know that we are very big. I know we are coming from bigger communities. Let's continue talking and sharing and also learning while I'm learning.
Amen.
Bye-bye.
Amen. Thank you so much, my darling. Guys, I love you. Let me see you on the flip side, okay? Take care of yourselves. Please be taking out notebooks and learning from what we are sharing here today and all the videos that we've done in the past, guys. This one is one of those that really have drained me. But anyway, with that being said, thank you so much. I'll see you guys on the flip side. Don't forget to give this video thumbs up, and also do subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to our channel. I'll see you on the flip side. I love you. God bless you. Mwah, 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 mwah.